Hey, how are you?
Great.
How's the car? That's probably the bigger question. It seems like it's in quite a few pieces again. Alright guys, welcome to another video from XF Motorsports. In this one, we have an old friend back in the shop, the CLS 55 that you might remember from a year back. This car had a blown engine and we had to replace the engine on it basically because, well, the person had bought the car not too long ago and it had a leaking head gasket. He decided to change the head gasket himself, but while he was changing it, he broke an exhaust valve on it, which blew the entire engine apart. But luckily we were able to find an engine for just $400, fix it up, put it back in the car and get everything running. But now, after a year, well, I found the car in the person's house again actually, and he was changing a spindle on it this time, a wheel bearing on it this time, which well, he messed up a little on that again, so he needed my help fixing that, and now the car is back in the shop because it also, well, blew an alternator because it had a dead battery that he didn't charge for the whole winter. So yeah, there's a few things to do on it.
So today we're gonna change that battery. I'm gonna figure out how to get that alternator changed. Apparently I gotta remove like half the car. He's telling me.
No, it's not too bad.
Some coolant hoses and some belts and whatnot. We'll figure it out and get her done.
Yeah, so let's show you guys, well, tell you guys the full story of this car, walk you through everything that this car has been through, and then trying to get it running so that hopefully it stays on the road for longer. So here's a closer look at the car. The engine that we changed last year, the $400 engine that we put in it, but the engine is doing amazing, by the way. No problems at all over there, but of course other things on the car, like the spindles that the person was replacing, he messed up on that a little bit, and the battery and the alternator that are now dead because of well, he stored the car in the winter for a long time and didn't leave the battery on a charger, which is why after that, well, he jump started the car and that's what probably took the alternator out. But anyways, let's actually get you guys started with where I found this car when I found it this year, in the person's house, covered in a pile of dust. And then, yeah, get to actually fixing all this and get this car on the road working properly once again. Okay, so I'm at the person's place. I guess the CLS would be in the garage. Let's see how it's doing. Hey, how are you?
Great.
How's the car? That's probably the bigger question. It seems like it's in quite a few pieces again.
The three wheels are amazing in this car, just the fourth one's getting missing. I don't know, something wrong.
What happened here?
Well, basically, the hub was making a bit of noise, so I decided, you know what, let's just try my skills again. Just like I blew up the engine last time, I thought, you know what, how hard could it possibly be? So, yeah, I had a shot at changing the hub. There it is.
Which one was the one you were changing?
So it's still stuck on, by the way.
Okay, that's the one you were trying to change.
Yes.
And that got damaged.
Yes.
So now you're putting one of these hubs on.
This one right here. There you go.
But you're changing the ball joints on it so that they're the newer ones.
Oh yes, absolutely. So how much do you give me out of 10?
How much would I give you out of 10? Well, it depends if you finish then.
Well, just hopefully give me 10 out of 10 for effort and 10 out of 10 for stupidity as well. So that's perfect.
Yeah. Sure. So I guess yeah, we're gonna be trying to take these ball joints out of these spindles, which is apparently pretty difficult sometimes because they're stuck. And after that, we're gonna be putting this spindle on this one, which is the broken one. And then, are we putting a new hub on it?
No. Just, you know, as it is, it's fine. Like,
okay.
Tested it out, checked it out.
So for replacing the ball joint on the spindle, these ones have these really annoying ball joints that are pressed into the spindle, and sometimes on old cars, rusted cars, it's really difficult to get out. Sometimes they come out no problem with one of these ball joint extractors. You basically turn the screw pushes up on this, and the ball joint basically ends up in here. So after a little bit of heat and hammering, I have been able to get the old ball joint out, and this was actually not that difficult of a job. It came out pretty easy. I have seen much worse than this one. So yeah, pretty surprised that this one was okay. Now next, all we need to do is we need to put the new ball joint in here, which is going to be what the opposite process of what we just did. We're going to just put a different adapter on this tool so we can press this one in, and that's going to be it. The spindle's already going to be good to go back in the car. So it's back to the shop. I had to bring the spindle over here because at his house we couldn't press the ball joint in properly. We tried it with the hammer. His tool for some reason didn't fit on this properly, so I'm just going to use my tool over here, and it also makes it easier. I have a vise to hold it and also an impact gun, so it's going to be hopefully quick pressing this back on. Then after that I need to take the spindle back to his place to install it on the car and hopefully get it driving, and then to drive it back here for the alignment. So a bit of a back and forth process, but let's try to get it done. Okay, so update on the CLS about, well, 2 weeks after you guys saw it last time, and it wasn't running. It got towed over here. I wasn't here to actually receive it, but I just came to the shop, and now, well, apparently the person says the battery was dead. It wasn't able to crank, and I'm not sure, well, he's not sure whether it's the battery issue or if it's an alternator issue. The car did have to come here for an alignment, but now I guess we have to figure out a little bit more than that. Well, at least it seems like it has power. Okay, visit workshop, battery starts up fine. One thing you can do on these cars to check the alternator is that you just put the key in, take it to position 1, press this button 3 times. It tells you the battery voltage 10.8, so that's not good. Now when I start it, I will have a look at the battery voltage again. Okay, 9.6. okay, so that means the alternator is not charging. Battery, alternator, stop vehicle. So sure, that makes a lot of sense. I won't leave it on for too long because of course whatever's left of the battery will also be drained then. I need to pull the car into the shop. I will then change the battery, check the alternator. It could be the voltage regulator, or it could be the whole alternator. So then, yeah, that means we'll have to get to replacing that. This is, by the way, common thing if you don't maintain your car, if you don't leave it on charge on the winter, if you just leave the car standing and the battery is completely dead, and then you just charge it slightly or jump start it and then let the alternator charge the whole battery. The alternator isn't meant to be that powerful to go through a whole completely drained battery and then charge it up, so sometimes it blows the alternator. I have seen it happen on other cars, so that could be the case what happened with this one. I'm not sure. Let's first pull it in, do an alignment on it, then look into the rest of it. So here's a look at the alignment numbers. The rear is off by just a little bit. The front is, the steering is pointing off a little bit. That's of course to be expected because there was a bit of work done on the front. But I'll start off by the front. I'll correct the thrust angle, bring it to 0 exactly, and then move on to the front because yeah, that's the way you're usually supposed to do it. So this was the cause of the, well, broken alternator, the battery. It was left dead for a while, that's why. I believe it wasn't working properly. But what we're going to do for now is we're just going to take this battery out. We're going to put that one in, which was a spare battery I had lying around. But really, yeah, this car will now need a new battery and a new alternator because the battery fried the alternator. We did, well, we had this battery left on charge, and after even charging it for a little bit, the charger got extremely hot. So definitely something weird going on with this one. Better to get rid of it before it blows up more stuff.
Take these off and pull it out through here.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
These are so loose.
Plug. Maybe I would have left it, but no, you still got it. Okay, so now the alternator is in, the new battery Stefan already connected. Let's actually fire it up, see if everything works now. Why does it say it was the workshop? Wait 1 second, let me see. No, 1 sec. Oh, you know what? That might be for the second battery. That might be for the smaller battery that goes on the thing. That usually happens. Okay, start it. Okay, starts up fine. Makes a lot of that annoying oil pump noise that these cars have, but other than that, it's pretty normal. So next, let's check if the new alternator is charging. Okay, 13.8, perfect. So the alternator is charging now. The battery light is still there. I believe that's because of the second battery that goes behind the. There's a small cover on the engine bay over there, and there's a second battery. So that, I think, of course, well, also needs to be changed. I'll check the voltage on it right now, see if it's low. If it is low, then that's the reason why this light is on. And after that, hopefully all the lights should be gone and the car should be back to normal. Yeah, so here's the voltage on the second battery that sits over here. It's only 0.9 volts. That's less than 1 volt. So that's definitely the reason why that warning message is there. This battery also needs to be replaced. But yeah, once this is replaced, everything should be fine. Everything else on the car is working properly now. So that's all good. Let's take it for a test drive, see how everything runs, and that's gonna be it for the car then. Okay, test driving the CLS after fixing, well, everything on it except for the tiny battery that is at the front. That's I guess I have to reset the windows still because after moving the battery we didn't do that. Okay, the windows are working now too.
Don't drive too crazy, you're gonna make me sick.
I never drive too crazy. What are you saying?
Wait, every time you drive crazy.
Every time I drive crazy, I never drive crazy.
Yeah.
The car definitely has quite a lot of power. Look. It's on a pulley and it's also been tuned. So
Yeah, no, that's nice.
Yeah. You drive it, it doesn't look like it's been through 2 engines and all that, like disaster and everything.
That's kind of crazy because it is
drives
low
like a
mileage.
really nice car. It's like there's no noises, suspension is so, everything is so good on it. Look at the power.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay.
It's quick.
Okay.
It drives like a new car, literally.
Yeah.
Oh yes, finally.
You've worked on it longer than you've driven it.
That's all good. I shall go this way.
Holy crap, watch out. You're even crazier than me.
That's thoroughly tested.
Thoroughly tested.
Yeah, alright, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right, and plus it's smooth, you're right, the alignment and everything.
It's really smooth, yeah.
Yeah, I'm testing with the train tracks, that's for sure as well. But yeah, let me get back to your place again. Actually, I'll turn around
Just,
here. Right?
no, keep going straight.
Oh, yeah? Straight.
It's gonna go back. So that was everything for the CLS 55. That has left the shop now, working properly once again. Hopefully this time it should stay running for a little bit longer because, well, of course, even these issues didn't really have to happen, but yeah, of course, the person made a bit of a mistake while working on it, but that happens. He's a car guy himself. He likes working on the car, so you can't really blame him for that. But talking about some more things that you guys are going to be seeing in the next video, it's going to be back to this Mercedes SEC V12, in which we're putting a V12 engine in, and we were waiting for the turbos to come in for the longest time. That still haven't come in because there was a shipping delay or something. So while we were still waiting for those, we've started work on the electronics, wiring up this Haltech so that we can actually fire up this engine and get it running. So yeah, we were just doing some work with this and also connecting different ignition coils with it and a few other things that we need along the way. And also we have the water jet cut flanges for the exhaust manifold that we need to start work on once the turbos come in. But yeah, hopefully the next video should be on the electronics or something related to this car. I'm not sure which parts are going to come in and what we're going to get done soon, because shipping is pretty slow these days because of all the COVID stuff going on. So yeah, let's hope we get some cool parts in time and we get something done soon enough so that you guys can see it in the next video. But yeah, that's everything for now. If you want to stay tuned, make sure to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and I will see you in the next one.